So there's been an ongoing just series of leaks out of really, I mean, so our artists have had songs leaks, forever, for as long as hip hop's been around, right? Like, at least as far as I've been listening, leaks of some kind. But it used to be different, right? Like 25 years ago, a leak was like either something that got sent to a DJ to promote something. It was something that was sent around to like journalists or other people in the industry, or it was somebody disgruntled at a CD pressing plant who was like helping these ripping groups leak everything out, right?
The good old days. Yeah.
Right. We're at a different stage of leaks now where there's this phenomenon called the group buy. Okay. The group buy whereby fans of artists are organizing together, different places online, and they put in money together to buy from people who have somehow acquired typically unheard music, but more importantly, it's oftentimes like unheard, like revisions of multiple versions of songs, right? And so you get these group buys, which will sometimes be like, oftentimes there's like a headlining, oh, it's this unreleased thing, and this time it's actually got a finished verse and all this other stuff. They're enticing the fans, and then they'll like throw in bonus stuff with it, right? There's been this like slow trickle, and I first found out about it for Kanye leaks, but this is how it happens for all kinds of artist leaks now. You can go look at like these resources online that like detail like ASAP Rocky leaks. I was looking at one of these today, right? And it's like version, this version has like, has like not just a verse, but it's also got obviously a place where this rapper is going to now jump in because it's got the open beat. And it's like, if you're an obsessive fan, it's like you can collect everything, right? Every version humanly possible. On the Kanye side of things, this is especially interesting because of the way that he works, which is unlike how any rapper that we really grew up works, right? Where he is like doing these mumbles to beats, but then he'll just have tons of artists do references for him. And if he finds something he likes, then he's going to like adopt some of that and then like turn that into something. And it becomes this big, like weird melting pot, right? Like when you see a Kanye song and you're like, oh, this was written by these 10 people. Let me tell you, it's a long period. It's like a collage basically, where it's like, oh, he got that from this reference and this from that reference, or, oh, he, this hook actually started off as a part of this verse. Like, it's ridiculous. It's this incredibly iterative process, very expensive process. Like when you look at a lot of these leaks and how many versions of some of these songs there are, it's just like, I can't even imagine how much time and money goes into some of these songs now. It's unbelievable. That's not what we're talking about today. But go ahead. You were going to say something.
But in addition, when talking about these leaks, I don't think there's an artist who has had this much music leak. The only other person that comes to mind is a Tupac.
Yeah, and in this case, the reason why Armond and I wanted to talk about it this week is because there was a particular like flood of leaks, like a week or two ago, of all kinds of stuff, including like a complete project,
multiple
videos,
videos,
like raw footage of documentaries, footage where he's calling Cardi B an industry plant, and is talking about how Nas was rapping off beat, and he can't believe he gave those beats for Push's album. He should have kept them for himself. Like he was going places, but also like sort of, for me as a music fan, fascinating glimpses is like, oh, we're gonna talk about this today. This is what Yeezus sounded like right before Rick Rubin was introduced to the process. A fascinating, like, what if for Yeezus. Like, we'll talk about that, play some songs, talk about through what happened. But like the Jesus is King Dr. Dre remix album, guess what? We've got it.
The entire album,
the entire album. Yeah. How about an actual finished version of Mama's Boyfriend, a song that was almost included on Dark Twisted Fantasy when he went to the Facebook offices and stood up on people's desks and was rapping a cappella, back when people were like sort of amused by that. He did that as a part of the Twisted Fantasy rollout. Mom's Boyfriend was one of the songs that he rapped a cappella.
Was that Twisted? I thought that was Late Registration. I thought that song has been around forever. Is Twisted Fantasy? Okay.
Twisted Fantasy.
That does not fit on Dark Twisted Fantasy at all.
No, it doesn't. I mean, they had multiple iterations of that song. There's like but a lot of this stuff that got leaked. We're only touching on some of it. There's tons of stuff from the ongoing Donda 2 sessions. There's a whole like mini movie visual album from 2020, the OG Donda with Child. Like there's tons of stuff that have been leaked out, and it's like it's I don't know, like as a fan, it's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming.
But what's interesting to me is like it's just how like what is I think sort of unprecedented is the volume of music that is accumulating that he just doesn't put out. The volume of stuff, unreleased videos, the New Body video,
right? And the New Body video was fire.
A video for the 2020 version of Life of the Party.
Yeah.
Right. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that is just, like he had Hype Williams come in and do stuff, and it's just like they're just sitting around, and somebody has hacked in or had access and they're disgruntled. It's still not exactly clear how some of this stuff leaks out, and there's no real pattern necessarily, right? It's not like, oh, this is all from when he started working with this thing. You know what I mean? Because it's like the leaks are everywhere.
Which leads me to believe it's like consequences. It's like it has to be. I don't know if it's a thing where just it passes through so many hands, but I feel like it's like a few people.
It's like Mike Dean's intern.
Yeah, like it's like a few people who have like been around from like the beginning.
Yeah.
That like.
Yeah.
They just always have access to this stuff. It has to be a trusted source is leaking this stuff out. Has to be. Yeah. They have to know where all this stuff is. Because